Hello everyone, welcome back to my astrology channel. So before I begin my video today, I just want to thank everyone who has subscribed to my channel, who's commented, viewed my videos, and I really appreciate your contribution. And for those who have not subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on that notification bell icon to get notified whenever my next video is up. So again, I really appreciate and thank you very much. Now, today's video is about the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction in the sign of Pisces in the month of April. So exactly the conjunction occurs on the 12th of April 2022 at 23 degrees Pisces. So if you've got any planets or any of the signs or angles at 23 degrees, so it's good to just watch out that energy around in the month of April especially, but you will feel the energy of Jupiter and Neptune conjunction even before that. Now Neptune energy is we can feel the Neptune energy already so much because it's been there in the sign of Pisces since 2012 and will stay there until 2026. So we are kind of used to this Neptunian energy in our in our lives, wherever your Pisces sign sits, whichever house it occupies. So we are already used to this kind of ethereal kind of energy, maybe a blurred kind of energy, nebulous kind of energy. At times feels like out of grasp, feels like it's slipping away because you're unable to grasp the energy of Neptune. What we end up doing is we start appreciating it. We tend to look at it in a more spiritual way, more karmic way, and just let it play out the way it plays out. Just a little bit of awareness is definitely required because Neptune triggers our unconscious motivations. So an awareness is definitely required in order to avoid any kind of confusion, instability that basically you can't put your finger on. Now Jupiter is going to come close to this Neptune in the sign of Pisces. Now Jupiter and Neptune conjunction Pisces is rare because the last time Jupiter and Neptune got together in a conjunction was in 2009, but it wasn't in the sign of Pisces, it was in the sign of Aquarius. So this is a very rare conjunction, and in the sign of Pisces, where Jupiter and Neptune both rules Pisces. Now Jupiter is the traditional ruler and Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. So both these planets on some level is comfortable in the sign of Pisces. Now Jupiter is the spiritual expansive energy. It's the optimistic side. It's the aspirational, abundant kind of prosperity oriented kind of energy. Wherever it goes, it brings you hopefulness. It brings a certain kind of knowing that things will turn out fine. So we exaggerate things, we overindulge, and we are just too hopeful with that Jupiterian energy. But it's also a very lucky, beneficial, enhancing, developing and progressive kind of energy. So when Jupiter, this abundant, progressive kind of energy, this hopeful kind of energy, when it comes together with Neptune, which is nebulous, which is not clear, it's blurry, it's vague, what can happen is whatever we are trying to build around this time, around this conjunction, wherever it sits in your chart, there may be a need for a reality check. Are we overconfident? Are we overindulging? Are we over hopeful in those matters? And our goals, are they realistic? Are they something that you can achieve, attain, obtain? And so these things needs to be looked at wherever your Pisces sign is. Now the other thing is this Jupiter Neptune conjunction is going to form aspect with the nodes during this time. Now the nodes are in the Taurus and Scorpio axis. North node is in the sign of Taurus and Scorpio, south node is in the sign of Scorpio. So Taurus and Scorpio is the money axis, is the finance axis. So Taurus is your personal finance and Scorpio represents the shared finance. So during this time, this Jupiter Neptune conjunction, which is hopeful, spiritual, inspirational, even confusing, delusional, can bring this energy to your finances and wherever your Taurus Scorpio angle sits. So it will kind of play out in a way that of over indulgence or hopefulness, or kind of a blurry, vague kind of energy around wherever your Pisces, Taurus, and Scorpio sign is. So it's very important to get a reality check, be realistic. Whatever you're trying to build, whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever you're trying to plan, your goals and ambitions regarding those matters needs to be looked at in from a realistic point of view, and look at it not with the objective of putting it down in a kind of a mold, because Neptune does not appreciate mold. It's a boundaryless, limitless energy. Your mind is limitless around this time as well, and can create confusion. So it's a good idea to use this time for inspiration. And if you are getting any visions, any dreams, they can be very much full of messages. So it's a good idea to create a vision board as well around this time, and not too much rely on concrete plans, because if it does not turn out the way you want it to turn out, there can be disappointments. So in order to not be led by any kind of fear or fantasy around this time, it's best to focus on the positive side and focus on self-improvement, personal development. Seek new horizons, new ways of doing things, expansive learning about it. If there is something that's you're not able to understand clearly, it's best to dig deeper and learn more about it, and just lead from a little bit more spiritual place rather than overly materialistic space during this time, because Neptune and both the nodes are very subconscious oriented energies. Now Neptune is a limitless energy. It represents your unconscious behavior, and the nodes, both the nodes, north and south nodes, are karmic points. It's the nodes of the moon, which is to do with intuition, which is to do with your psychic abilities, and it is to do with your karmic, emotional, subconscious pattern. So the energy in the month of April is going to be a lot to do with spiritual, subconscious, unconscious pattern, your karma, how you are emotionally connected, your awareness, motivation, subconscious motivation, and all that around this time. And the best thing is to focus on self development rather than worry about external validation or external achievement. So definitely, I think if we lead from a spiritual perspective, anything that we are building or trying to achieve, goals and ambition, whatever that is, we won't feel overly worried if it falls through, or if it doesn't turn out the way we want. Now Jupiter is a very expansive, lucky, optimistic, beneficial energy. It's it's about abundance and prosperity. So definitely that energy is there, but Neptune does blurs the boundaries, the limits. So definitely over amplification of that energy can happen. So definitely the important thing is to lead from a spiritual perspective, and a kind of a focus on self-development, personal development, and self-awareness around this time. Now I will cover all the 12 zodiac sign and how this conjunction is going to affect each of the 12 zodiac sign. Aries, for you, this Jupiter Neptune conjunction occurs in your 12th house. Now 12th house is the house of subconscious to begin with. So during this time you will be subconsciously motivated to achieve the best you can. You will focus more on your talents and skills, even in private, even in the background, behind the scenes. You will be a little bit more hopeful and optimistic regarding what you can achieve and the work that you can put behind the scene before you bring it out into the world. So definitely lead from a more compassionate, sympathetic, empathetic place for yourself and for others as well. How you approach other people and all that is a little bit more a spiritual perspective rather than overly materialistic. Now 12th house is also to do with self-deception and self-undoing. So this is a great time to get better perspective around your self-awareness, your personal development, and how you focus on your own subconscious self, the well-being, the healing that you need the healing that needs to occur. With Jupiter here, it brings an energy of hopefulness. So any kind of fear, guilt, shame attached to past pattern or anything that is becoming, you know, self-destructive and all that. This is a good time to see it from a different perspective, see it from a more compassionate place, and not be overly concerned with old patterns, negative patterns, basically patterns that are limiting you. Trust in the, you know, your spiritual side. Trust in the universe that you are taken care of, and you know, move forward with that kind of energy. Now this conjunction is going to aspect your second and eighth house, where the nodes are. So definitely this, if you lead from a more compassionate place for yourself, you can achieve financially as well, because there's a very good sextiling and trining aspect, which is very you know, collaborative, supportive, free-flowing kind of energy. So as Jupiter and Neptune 12th is aspecting North Node in your second house, your compassion, your intuition, your optimism will connect you with people who will help you achieve, you know, whatever you're trying to achieve, your goals regarding your money matters. You know, you will come in contact with people who will help you grow and, you know, achieve that maybe career advancement, or that deal that you need to sign, whatever that might be, just to increase your money matters. So most definitely it's a great time to trust your instinct, Aries. And you will also feel a bit more comfortable where shared finances and, you know, collaborative energies are concerned, you know, where you make money with others. So definitely it's a good energy overall where your money matters is concerned. But the first thing you need to do is release any fear, old patterns, self-deceiving patterns, and trust yourself. Be compassionate towards yourself, create more self-awareness, and just trust that things will turn out the way you want to turn out. If you put in the work and trust your instinct and just be more involved with whatever you're trying to achieve, your destiny, your goals, Aries. Taurus, for you, this Jupiter Neptune conjunction occurs in your 11th house. Now 11th house is to do with a social circle, it's to do with collaborations, you know, professional gains, your hopes and wishes. So when Neptune and Jupiter together in your 11th house creates a lot of positive energy, beneficial energy regarding your social circle. You get a boost in social circle. Friends are there to help you and grow you. But with Neptune conjunction, you have to be realistic regarding your goals around your collaboration and social circle, and not be too trusting of other people as well, because that can create kind of a delusion in yourself that you know, the causes that you're associating with is not really connecting with your true self. So it's very important to lead from what is true to yourself, Taurus, what you connect with, and not just be led by other people, even if on surface it seems that they mean well. But they may mean well, but it's important to be realistic and practical in your approach when dealing with social circle. Now Jupiter is going to bring this amplified, optimistic, hopeful, expansive energy to your social circle. So you will be definitely gaining more friends. You know, people will be there to help you, people will be there to support you, most definitely. So that energy is most definitely there. Now this conjunction in your 11th house is going to make you a bit more compassionate and more supportive towards your friend circle, and you will attract that kind of people as well who are supportive. So it's also important during this conjunction and going beyond, Taurus, is to think beyond your current circle and, you know, have new encounters, meet new people to create new opportunities as well, because Jupiter is about expansion, it's about exploration as well. So if the current situation, social situation that you're in is kind of limiting, or is confusing, or is not something that you want to associate yourself with, it's a good time to, you know, think outside the box and, you know, bring in new energy where collaboration is concerned, and that will lead to professional gains and professional growth, Taurus. Now this conjunction forms an aspect with the nodes. Now North Node is in your first house and South Node is in your 7th house. So your relationship is definitely boosted during this time, and relationship with yourself and other people as well. So there's going to be a lot of change and transformation, a positive transformation in your sense of self, your personal destiny, priority, whatever you're trying to achieve. Since North Node moved in your sign in January 2022, this is a great time to really push all those energies forward in an optimistic and fulfilling way, and you will get some positive outcome out of this, most definitely going forward. But the main thing is to lead from realistic space, and even whatever you're trying to build, if it doesn't seem to give results straight away and it seems unstable in the beginning, especially when it comes to relationship, with other people as well, or any significant person in your life, then it's very important to lead from a more spiritual, compassionate space, first for yourself and then for others. And Taurus, beneficial, fortunate encounters during this time will definitely bring you closer to your goals and destiny and purpose, whatever you are trying to achieve with your North Node in the first house, Taurus. Geminis, for you, this Jupiter Neptune conjunction occurs in your 10th house. Now 10th house, now it's a great time for you to advance your career, to seek that professional growth, to seek that promotion, or to take that life direction that you want to take. Geminis, if the career that you're currently in is not fulfilling, this Jupiter can bring in this spiritual awareness regarding what you can do, how you can achieve, how you can grow. If something is limiting you, or something is confusing, or you're not able to grasp whatever you're trying to achieve, or whatever you're trying to obtain is slipping away or is falling through, this is a good time to get perspective and be more realistic and practical, and put down these practical actions to make these career moves, because it's a great time. It's a very beneficial, enthusiastic, career enhancing kind of time. So definitely great time to influence other people as well. Now authority figure or decision makers in your life during this time is going to really appreciate and will notice your achievement, and will notice your skills and capabilities, and that is going to really advance you as well. Gemini's, Jupiter in your 10th house really promises career growth. So do use this chance to get the best out of whatever you're trying to achieve career wise during this time. Now Geminis, with Jupiter and Neptune energy together in your 10th house, you also need to be a little bit flexible and adaptable when approaching career matters, because with Neptune you may not achieve or obtain anything that is set in concrete. So you need to be flexible with your plan. So if you got a certain goals or ambition, you may have to tweak it a little bit to attain whatever the bigger picture. You need to see the bigger picture and not confuse yourself with a concrete kind of plan. Though with Neptune energy it's not concrete, but it could be confusing kind of plan if it's not something that is clear to you. The best thing is to be a little bit flexible regarding your goals, because things can change. And with this Jupiter amplifying this Neptunian energy in your 10th house, things may seem unstable, may seem a little bit unclear at times, or unrealistic. So definitely lead from a place of understanding your plan better, being flexible, adaptable to reach your goals. Now this Neptune-Jupiter conjunction is going to aspect the nodes, which will be in your 12th and 6th house. Now 12th and 6th house is the health and healing axis, so there could be good results regarding your health matters and work matters as well. There could be growth there, or whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever path you're trying to go on, you'll be able to make some movement, positive progress during this time. So definitely a great time to look at your work schedule and just your daily life, your health matters. If you're trying to introduce anything new health wise, this is a great time to introduce. It's a very comfortable time, growth oriented time, so you can use this Jupiter expansive, enhancing, progressive, optimistic energy to push forward in terms of your goal, whatever you're trying to achieve. And with North Node in your 12th house, you can truly advance on that path of healing, self-healing during this time. So definitely it's a great time overall to grow, to advance career wise, health wise, work wise, healing wise, but do be a bit flexible and adaptive. Now Geminis, you are a mutable sign, so there's no issues you being adaptable and flexible. If something does not work out, you're fine with changing it, and you're not very stuck on one kind of plan. So that's a good energy. So it's all complementary. So overall I think it's going to be a progressive time for you, Geminis. Cancer, for you, the Neptune and Jupiter conjunction occurs in your 9th house. Now this is a fantastic time to learn, travel, explore, expand your horizon, meet new people, connect with new people you haven't connected before, people from different backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds, and all this will open your eyes to new opportunities and new territories. This is absolutely a brilliant time to make new friends and even connect with people on more soul level and spiritual level. So it can really be a very spiritual kind of time, and you want to connect with people more on a soulful level more than materialistic level. Now Jupiter and Neptune together in your ninth house is going to open up spiritual realities for you, will open up new experiences for you, will open up you to overall new perspective of life, world, relationship. So this expansion will be in all areas of life, because your mind, your perspective is going through an enhancement, development. It's expanding, it's exploring. So you are more accepting of other people and other energies during this time. Even this is even a great time to learn something new, especially a subject that you are interested in and you were not able to learn before. This is a great time to do that learning. If you're into higher education, this is a great time to start a course or look deeply into what you want to sign up for, or study like a 3 or 4 year degree course as well. It's a great time to look into it. Now Neptune is also there, so you could be a little bit impressionable, and you could have a bit of unrealistic expectation regarding your travel, learning needs, and just exploring needs and connecting needs. So definitely with Jupiter there, you will get more powerful insights, broader insight, broader perspective to see these things in a different way. Now this Jupiter and Neptune in your ninth house is going to aspect the nodes which are in your 11th and 5th house. Now North Node is in the 11th house, which is the house of collaboration and social circles. So your 11th house is already going through a reboot, a transformation, with Uranus also there. So this Jupiter and Neptune conjunction on your North Node, sextiling aspects, a very supportive, harmonious aspect, is only going to help you achieve whatever you're trying to achieve more during this time, because whatever path you're trying to take, whatever advancement or growth you're seeking in that matter, Jupiter and Neptune is going to help you. But Cancer, it's important to lead from a compassionate space, more empathetic, more sensitive space, because Jupiter and Neptune is a very spiritual energy and the nodes are very karmic energy. So lead from more of a spiritual space rather than materialistic space. Think about connecting people on a soul level rather than just connecting on egoistic levels. So definitely this Jupiter Neptune conjunction is all about connection. It's about perspective. It's about opportunities. It's about your purpose. It's about expansion, exploration, and keeping your eyes and mind open when seeking new opportunities, and not be led from egoistic space, but more of a spiritual, compassionate, sensitive space, first with yourself and then to others. So definitely it's a great time for spiritual expression, self-expression, creative expression, imagination, inspiration, all comes your way as you're exploring the world and meeting new people. So do use this time to get out and experience things you have not experienced before, Cancer. Leos, for you the Neptune and Jupiter conjunction occurs in your 8th house. Now 8th house is to do with value systems, shared value system, and shared finances. It's about how you value yourself in a union, and how other values you. So with Jupiter and Neptune together in your 8th house, Leos, you're less focused on power struggle. You're less focused on what is theirs and what is yours. You are a little bit more spiritual, intuitive, compassionate, where money matters are concerned, and where union are concerned, and mutually benefiting financial kind of situation are concerned. You're very hopeful regarding your financial situation, especially in a joint kind of scenario. So any kind of fear and control issues are not there around this time. And it's a good time to be a little bit more compassionate, sensitive to other people's need and what other people have to contribute and what you can contribute in a shared finance kind of scenario. So Leos, it's a good time to apply your intuition, your inspiration, imagination to building finances, resources together, and not be too much worried about the egoistic battle between two people regarding money matters. So lead from a more spiritual, calm, impatient space, and you will be able to build strength together where finances are concerned. Now, having said that, Neptune does mean deception as well, sometimes self-deception. So it's also important to be realistic in your approach, and you may be accommodating and less worried about power struggles right now, but it's very important to lead from a practical and realistic space. Otherwise, you can face challenges, financial challenges, and confusion regarding your money matters. So if you're into a joint financial situation or other people's money that is not coming your way, which are supposed to come your way, it's good to lead from a more spiritual space about money. Become a little bit more spiritual and realistic as well, because Jupiter is going to bring expansive energy, but it can also bring over optimistic energy, over indulgent kind of energy. So if you think you're impacted by finance or unsettled finance or spousal finance or anything else, social finance, inheritance, taxes, gifts, anything, if you're impacted by that during this time, it's a good idea to lead from an intuitive space and see what is good for you and what is obtainable during this time, because Jupiter is going to bring this expansive energy as well if you're a little bit more realistic in your approach, and so that your hopes and wishes, so that your whatever you're hoping is not over exaggerated during this time, and whatever comes your way is, you are able to build it together, the resources. Now this Neptune and Jupiter conjunction is going to aspect the nodes, which is in your 10th and 4th house. Now North Node is in your 10th house of career matters, and 4th house is where your South Node is your home matters. So this Jupiter and Neptune is forming a very harmonious aspect with these nodes. So if you lead from a compassionate, sensitive, optimistic space, you will have gains in your career matters, and you will connect more with your life direction, and whatever you're trying to achieve on a outward space, outward energy, external energy, whatever you're trying to achieve in career matters, it's a good time to achieve and advance in career matters. Now home matters will also come very naturally to you during this time. You're more inspired, creative, spiritual and artistic regarding your home solutions. If there's any kind of issues, you have a creative solution for it, and this will help you overall be in a kind of a mental space of progress, hope, and just seeing to the future with more hope than uncertainty, which you may have been feeling months before. So Leos, definitely it's a great time with your shared finances enhancing and developing and growing during this time. You will be a little bit more free to focus on your career and home matters as well, Leos. Virgos, for you the Neptune and Jupiter conjunction occurs in your 7th house, which is your opposite sign. Now with Jupiter joining Neptune in your 7th house, it's a very optimistic time where your relationship is concerned. It's a very growth inducing time, and you're very in a happy state, and more accepting of relationship, more accepting of other people, and more tolerant as well during this time. Now Virgos, with Neptune energy in your 7th house already there since 2012, you may have been approaching relationship more from a compassionate and empathetic space, and your connection and interaction with others was probably more on a subconscious level, and you were connecting more on a soulful level with other people. Now this could have led to being impressionable or taken for granted, or you may have some kind of confusion or delusion or withdrawal from people, because of unrealistic kind of energy there. What you were hoping for, expecting for, maybe it wasn't met because of this nebulous vague kind of energy that Neptune brings to your relationship house. Now with Jupiter coming in there, it's kind of a hopeful time. It's a time of accepting more relation and connecting with more people, and people will be there to help you grow as well, and you will be very happy to connect with other people. It's a very joyful time and very expansive time as well, so you'll meet a lot of people as well during this time. Now where committed relationship is concerned, a marriage or a spouse is concerned, this Jupiter is going to bring definitely optimistic and growth inducing energy where your relationship is concerned. So it's a very joyful, beneficial, solidifying kind of energy to your relationship. Now relationship is not just a romantic or personal relationship, it also means business relationship. So if you're in a business partnership or you want to get into a business partner, this is actually a good time to think about all those things or get into a negotiation or sign a contract. But just be mindful because Neptune is also there, so it can create an unrealistic and blurring kind of energy. So do look into the details, what you are signing up to, and look into just lead from a little bit more intuitive, instinctive space. If you feel it's right and you have looked into all the details, then it's probably safe to go ahead with it. Now Virgos, this Neptune Jupiter in your 7th house is going to form an aspect to North Node and South. Now it's going to form a very harmonious and very supportive kind of aspect to both the nodes. Now your North Node is in the 9th house and your South Node is in the 3rd house. So that's the axis of learning, traveling, exploring, your perspective, mindset, new opportunities, and just life purpose and growth in terms of connecting and networking with people. So this Jupiter and Neptune is going to bring you this growth and advancement in these matters. Now with Neptune Jupiter together, there's a need to be a bit more spiritual, compassionate, sensitive, intuitive when approaching these matters, and you will see positive results. You will see growth in your 9th house matters. And if you want to travel or learn something new, this is a good time to look into these matters as well. Now with the South Node in your 3rd house, this Jupiter is forming a good aspect. So if there's any kind of energy that you need to release during this time where your 3rd house is concerned, where your way you communicate or your opinion or the way you think is concerned, this Jupiter Neptune conjunction is going to give you creative solution and inspiration to resolve any matter stuck in your 3rd house. So overall, Virgos, it's a really good energy around this conjunction, with a lot of focus on connecting, exploring, networking, meeting people, mingling with people, and you may find somebody who is good enough to form a relationship with, and this is both personal and business. So definitely a lot of expansive, warm, optimistic kind of energy in your relationship matters, Virgos. Libras, for you, the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction occurs in your 6th house. Now, 6th house is the house of work and health matters, the house of daily chores, daily habits, routines, just things you do on a daily basis. Your productivity, your usefulness, and the service, the duty, whatever you offer, that's your 6th house matter. Now Neptune has been in your 6th house for a few years, many years now, since 2012, and will be there until 2026. So you may be faced with on and off challenges, confusion around your work environment and colleagues, and just your health matters as well. Maybe too much work is stressing you and causing you anxiety, and that's affecting your health. Or there might be a tendency to evade work, or there might be a loss of job, Libras. Now with Jupiter joining Neptune in your 6th house, it's going to bring a lot of optimism, hopefulness, improved working condition, maybe a new job that is a better for you, and the colleagues, the environment is a little bit more hopeful with this Jupiter in your 6th house, and all this will lead to better health, self-improvement, your daily life, your structure, your routines will improve because you're not anymore in a work environment or condition which is not good for you basically. So this Jupiter with Neptune will bring you inspiration and imagination, and even just kind of a divine kind of guidance to make those moves and make work more enjoyable. When your living conditions are better, your health is improving, you're able to enjoy your daily life as well, your work, your habits are improving. So definitely a good time to change, and you will get new jobs as well. If you're applying for jobs, it's a good time to change job as well, go for a better paying job or a better condition, better work condition. Now this Neptune and Jupiter conjunction in your sixth house is going to form aspect with the nodes, north node and the south node. Now north node is in your eighth house in the sign of Taurus, which is your shared finances. So this Jupiter and Neptune is going to bring this energy of advancement, progress, where your eighth house matter is concerned. So if you were expecting any kind of inheritance or gifts or anything coming your way, this is a good time to receive all those things, because Jupiter is going to bring that energy. Now it's very important to lead from a compassionate and sensitive space and more intuitive space, rather than overly egoistic and trying to get into a power struggle regarding money matters around this time. So definitely let things flow, and good things will happen to you if it's meant to happen to you. So Libra, let things flow and lead from a space where you are compassionate and helping others as well. So that could be a theme as well with the joint resource. Maybe you are building resources together, and this Jupiter energy with the Neptune on your north node is going to help you build something together more successfully around this time. Now with the second house south node and this aspect, the positive aspect of Jupiter and Neptune on your second house south node, if there's any kind of issues or challenges regarding your personal finance, you will come up with some kind of creative solution to move forward. So Libras, around this Neptune Jupiter conjunction, it's really a great time to make some movement in your work matters, in your health matters, and structure your day better to achieve more and to be a little bit less stressful around this time. And you may also see positive outcomes regarding your finances, Libras. Scorpios, for you the Neptune Jupiter conjunction occurs in your fifth house. Now that's where your Pisces sign is. Now with Jupiter joining in Neptune in your fifth house, it's a very romantic, creative, artistic, fun time. So do have fun around this time, get out and indulge in those recreational and fun activities that can bring you joy and just a bit more hopefulness and optimism around this time. Now Neptune has been in your fifth house for many years, Scorpio, so it brings a very romantic kind of energy, even idealistic about romance when Neptune is in your fifth house. So you may be seeing what you want to see in your partner, in your lover. So it's better to look for union with soul connection than just outward connection, Scorpios. Now with Jupiter joining in Neptune, it will bring a little bit more amplification to this energy. So if you're connecting with people on a more soulful level, it's a very beneficial, beautiful energy to grow your the romantic relationship that you have. It's also a great time for creative artistic projects. So if you are involved in any kind of creative projects or something where you're expressing yourself, your own talents and capabilities, it's Jupiter is going to bring positive results in those matters, and also will bring more opportunities your way in terms of involving yourself with creative projects. Now it's also the house of children, pregnancy, childbirth. So all these energies are also there, Scorpios, if that's what you are aiming for. So definitely it's a very social time. It's a very freeing time. You are less worried about responsibilities around this time, because you want to have fun. You want to have that creative time, a self-expressing time. So that's what your focus is more around this time. In the month of April. Now this Neptune and Jupiter conjunction is going to aspect north node and south node. Now the nodal axis is in your axis of Taurus and Scorpio. So north node is in your seventh house and south node is in your house, in your first house, Scorpios. So with this beautiful aspect, harmonious aspect from Jupiter and Neptune, you will definitely create more harmonious relationship, and we will be a little bit more trusting of other people people, and getting more involved with other people, connect with other people as well, and your relationship will advance and grow as well with this helpful, optimistic energy of Jupiter, Neptune, a spiritual energy and imaginative, compassionate, sensitive energy that it brings to your relationship. Now, your South Node is in the first house, so if you are feeling any kind of, need to control, or, need to anything that you're not able to resolve, in terms of how you're expressing yourself, or any old stuck pattern that you want to release and you're not able to do that, this Jupiter is going to bring creative solution, imagination, inspiration, and to you, and leading from a compassionate space to find solution regarding how you're projecting yourself, Scorpios. So overall, it's a really good energy where your creative self is concerned, your relationship is concerned, connection is concerned, love, romance, beautiful things are concerned. So it's a good time to really enjoy all these energy, because it's going to bring warm, happy energy in your life around this time, Scorpios. Sagittarius, for you, the Jupiter Neptune conjunction occurs in your fourth house. The fourth house is the house of your home and family life, family members, your own emotional and physical foundation. So when Jupiter and Neptune comes together in your fourth house, it brings a lot of expansive, spiritual, intuitive, inspired energy to your home matters. So you are very inspired and motivated, spiritually motivated to move your home matters, bring beneficial energy, hopefulness, optimism, and growth in your home matters. Now, Neptune has been there for many years in your fourth house, Sagittarius, so there might have been time where you felt confused or too idealistic about your home matters, or maybe you were not appreciated for your contribution in your home, or just the home environment was a little bit unstable, or confusing for you. Now, with Jupiter coming in, it's going to bring this growth and optimistic, spiritual kind of energy to that compassionate, sensitive side of Neptune. So you will have a sense of well-being and content, inner contentment in your home matters with your family members. The growth that it brings will fulfill you, will satisfy you around this time, because it's a quite a beneficial energy. Now, you do need to lead from a compassionate, intuitive, and sensitive space, first for yourself and then for others. So begin with yourself, self-care, well-being, your own well-being. Look after yourself, your own emotional stability, security, your own emotional health is definitely important around this time, because with Neptune energy, you may be maybe too trusting of other people, especially in family environment, maybe depending too much on other people for your well-being. So Sagittarius, definitely you need to be in a place where there's less confusion and commotion, and this Jupiter is going to help bring that energy, the warm, happy, well-being energy in your home matters. And people in your home environment, family members, will be a little bit more in tune with each other for growing together, advancing together, where your family situation is concerned. And also your home house matter, it's a great time to decorate, expand your home if you want to move to a bigger place, better place, something that is more conducive to your well-being, growth, and just your overall emotional health. Then it's a great time to bring that energy as well, because Jupiter in fourth house definitely can mean buying, selling properties, real estate matters, and all that, Sagittarius. Now, this Jupiter and Neptune is going to form aspect to the nodes which are in your 6th and 12th house. Now, North Node is in your 6th house of work and health matters, daily routine, and all that. And South Node is in your 12th house of your subconscious patterns and motivations. So this Jupiter and Neptune is going to bring in this a sense of advancement, hopefulness, where your work is concerned, where your job matters are concerned. So it's very important to lead from an intuitive, compassionate, sensitive space for yourself and others, and organize and structure your daily life more where there is growth and where there's well-being for you, so you're not overworking and stressing yourself up, and that is having an effect on your health. Now, with South Node in the 12th house, it's a really great time to release any old stuck patterns, and this Jupiter and Neptune is going to bring creative solution regarding how to get unstuck yourself from old limiting patterns. And if you have a tendency to withdraw yourself from daily life, and people. Is going to bring that energy of well-being in your home life, in your daily life. So you'll be a little bit more connected with people on a daily, regular level, Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, overall, this conjunction is really good for your long-term happiness, long-term stability and security. So do lead from a space of compassion, sensitivity, and overall well-being for yourself and others in your close environment, Sagittarius. Capricorn, for you, the Jupiter Neptune conjunction occurs in your third house. Now, third house is the house of communication. It's the house of networking, connecting with people. It's the house of your environment, your local environment, siblings, close ties. It's also the house of your skills and capabilities, because it's a natural Gemini house. So it's to do with your skills and capabilities, and also short-term learning, short trips, business trips, and all that. So with Jupiter joining Neptune in your third house, this is absolutely a very expansive time for the purpose of your communication, your mindset, your outlook, expanding, growing that, being a little bit more optimistic in the way you think, and bit more hopeful in the way you think, Capricorn. Now, this is a great time to socialize, connect, mingle as well, or learn something new. If you're wanting to learn something new, like a short course, because third house to do with short courses, like maybe a year course at max, because ninth house is more to do with the degree courses, further education, higher education. So anything that is short term, like a certificate or a diploma kind of course, if you want to do that, Capricorn, this Jupiter is going to bring that energy. You'll be a little bit more receptive in terms of learning, and your retention maybe will be a bit more in terms of grasping the knowledge that you need, the learning that you need to do. And it's also a great time to upskill yourself, Capricorn. So if you are learning something new, like a trade skill or anything that will help you grow, in future, it's a great time. Also for business trips and all that, or short trips, anything is quite beneficial, and it's going to bring you joy around this time. Now, Neptune has been in your third house for quite a few years, since 2012. So Neptune is kind of brings this energy of, in third house especially, an inattentiveness to practical matters. Because you have the tendency to be idealistic, or your mind is a little bit more in a kind of a fantasy kind of state. So you are a little bit cut off from practical matters. So this Jupiter is going to bring you that understanding of our awareness of reconnecting with the practical life, practical matters, if you are feeling disconnected. Now, Jupiter and Neptune conjunction is going to aspect the nodes, the north node and the south node. Now, they are on the 5th and 11th house axis for you, Capricorn. That's your Taurus in the 5th house. That's where the north node is. So 5th house is to do with your self-expression, creativity, children, romance, love, and all that. So this Jupiter and Neptune is going to bring that compassion, intuition, inspiration in 5th house matter, and that will help you to advance on your north node energy, the destiny that you're trying to follow during this time when north node is in your 5th house, and the energy that you're trying to learn. This Jupiter and Neptune conjunction together is going to bring you inspiration, compassion, imagination, spiritual imagination, and will help you connect with your loved ones, with your children, or with your creativity more on a spiritual level. Now, south node is in your 11th house of collaboration, social circle. So if there were any kind of challenges or a restriction or any kind of stuck energy in your 11th house matter, Capricorn, this Jupiter and Neptune will bring creative solution. You will be a little more inspired with what actions to take. It will come to you, and will be able to advance in that energy as well. So Capricorn, it's a good time to trust your intuition. And if you are having difficulty communicating or putting your ideas across, or thoughts of what you're thinking, if you're having difficulty putting those ideas across, this Jupiter coming close to Neptune in your third house will help you express your ideas better, and the ideas will be received well as well from other people, because it will come from a space of your a sense of knowing, knowing what you are, your skills are, your capabilities are. You are speaking from a space of knowledge, of past experience. So that will come across really well with whoever is listening. So Capricorn, overall, this conjunction, Neptune and Jupiter conjunction, is definitely going to enhance your capabilities, your skills, and how you appear to other people, your communication style, your mental outlook, your mindset and all that. And it's going to have a good positive effect on your creativity, with your romance, the relationship that you have, and even children, because fifth house is to do with pregnancy, childbirth, and children as well. So there might be some kind of positive energy around that as well, Capricorn. Aquarius, for you, the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction occurs in your second house. Now, second house is to do with your personal finances. It's to do with your sense of self-worth, your possessions, your sense of security, stability around money matters, and how you see money, how you manage money as well. Now, Neptune and Jupiter together here is going to bring this expansive energy, inspired energy, imaginative, spiritual kind of energy where your money matter is concerned. Now, Neptune has been in your second house for many years, Aquarius. Now, with Neptune in your second house, you may be experiencing some kind of fluctuation maybe in your money matters, or unrealistic expectation or insecurity in your financial matters. Now, if that was not the case, maybe you were a little bit more spiritual regarding your money, and maybe using your inspiration, imagination to make money. So either way, Aquarius, there was a lot of focus on your money matters. You were attaching your own self-worth to financial matters, how much you're earning, and that may have instigated you to make finances as the end all and be all of existence, your existence, and that probably created some kind of financial insecurity, or idealism or unrealistic expectation around finances. Now, Jupiter coming together with Neptune in your second house is going to really bring this enhancement in your financial matters. Any past problems or stuck energy where your finances were concerned will be resolved. So overall, it's going to be a very productive and progressive kind of time where your finances is concerned. So you may expect return on investment as well if you have invested, or just any kind of financial growth. Gifts may come your way, or your salary may increase, or you may change your job and get a better, more paying job, or maybe you get a bonus from the efforts that you have put previously in your work matters or your business matters. So it's overall a very optimistic time where your finances is concerned. Now, Jupiter in your second house can also make you a little bit over optimistic where finances is concerned. So you may overindulge, spend more, even unnecessarily. So just watch out for that over expenditure where your second house, your money matters is concerned. Now, this Jupiter and Neptune conjunction is going to aspect the nodes, which will be in your 4th and 10th house. Now, North Node is in your 4th house in the sign of Taurus, so it's your home and family matters. Now, with Jupiter and Neptune aspecting your home matters, is going to bring this positive energy and a sense of advancement and progress to whatever you're trying to achieve in your home environment with your family members. This Jupiter and Neptune is going to bring this compassionate, intuitive, sensitive kind of energy to help you advance in whatever you're trying to achieve in your home matters, your own emotional stability, your emotional foundation and physical foundation. Now, South Node is in the 10th house, in the house of your career. So you will, if there's any kind of stuck energy or things are not moving or anything that you need to release that is not growing in your career matters, this Jupiter and Neptune will probably give you creative solution how to advance, how to get out of that rut if you're stuck in maybe old energy that you need to release to renew your career aspect. So this Jupiter and Neptune will definitely bring creative solution and inspiration, maybe some kind of some energy that will transform your career matters and set it in a new direction. So it's overall a really good time for your financial matter, home matters, and your career matter. So if there is any kind of energy that is unresolved or stuck or unrealistic, this is a good time to look at it in a different way, more spiritual, intuitive way to find solution, and you will see the results going forward most definitely, Aquarius. Pisces, For you, the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction occurs in your first house, and it's a wonderful time for you, Pisces, because Jupiter brings this expansive, hopeful, optimistic energy to your sense of self, your personal destiny, priority, whatever path you're trying to walk on, whatever goals you're trying to achieve regarding your own self-image. This is a great time to, really achieve all that, because there's a lot of positive energy, growth inducing energy where that is concerned. Now, Jupiter has been in your first house for many years, since 2012. So maybe you had more interest in mystical things, spiritual things, imaginative things, creative things around this time. Now, Neptune in first house can also cause illusions, self-deception, escapist tendency, withdrawal from people, doing things in private and all that. Now, with Jupiter moving in with Neptune, this is a great time to be a little bit more spiritual, compassionate, sensitive with yourself, with your mind, body and soul, with all that energy, because it's in your first house, so it's about you. So it starts with you, Pisces. So just be a little bit more in tune and be generous to yourself, and that will definitely have ripple effect on other people. So lead from a more compassionate space, overall a bit more spiritual rather than egoistic space, Pisces. And you will see noticeable improvement in your environment, in your own self, in your how you see yourself, whatever your life path is, overall life path and all areas of life. You will see improvement if you're leading from a little bit more sensitive, compassionate and generous space, Pisces. With Jupiter coming in together with Neptune, past patterns may not be as important anymore, because you're looking to the future, you're hopeful, you want to make changes in your life, and you are hopeful about these transformation that is going to reap you positive outcomes. So definitely lead from a space of compassion and not too much overly self-interested or overindulgent in yourself. So it's a great time to be carefree, free-spirited, to walk on that path that you want to. And with Neptune together with Jupiter, Pisces, you are definitely, your spiritual side is awakened. You are definitely want to use your compassionate side more going forward. Now, this Jupiter and Neptune conjunction is going to aspect the North Node and the South Node. Now, North Node is in your third house in the sign of Taurus, and South Node is in the Scorpio sign in your ninth house. Now, this Jupiter and Neptune is going to bring advancement, move forward kind of energy in your mindset, your outlook, how you see things and how you approach things, your opinion, all that. So this is a great time to lead from an inspired space, imaginative and compassionate space, to find solution where your communication and how you network and connect with people is concerned. And with South Node in your ninth house, which is the house of travel, it's a house of learning, it's a house of exploring. So if you are feeling any kind of stuck energy over there, this Jupiter Neptune will help you find creative solution. Maybe you can connect with people online, or you can book a travel, maybe a trip somewhere around this time, and it will bring kind of positive growth inducing energy in your overall perspective, in your sense of self, your mindset, how you see yourself, your life purpose, your life path, your personal priority, destiny, everything, Pisces. So it's a really good optimistic time to really lead from a compassionate spiritual space and really move forward with this positive energy, and it will help you overcome any kind of problems or issues more successfully, Pisces. So this was my video regarding Jupiter and Neptune conjunction that occurs on the 12th of April 2022, though you will feel the energy a bit before and after as well. So this is a great time to understand what Jupiter can bring to wherever your Pisces sign is. It brings hopefulness and optimism and growth in that space. But with Neptune there is definitely a need to be more realistic and more compassionate, more sensitive with yourself and others to have a successful outcome. So thank you very much for watching my video, and have a lovely day.